Oh man, it's Legends of the Nightlife here, and we have the man himself, the promoter. Well, I call him an entrepreneur. He has single-handedly, well, everybody, there's multiple hands, of course,
Mm-hmm.
involved in the takeover of the Brooklyn party scene. I would like to introduce our legendary guest, Mr. Cyrese.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Man, what's up, man? Yeah, I definitely want to just start off by saying I love what you guys are doing
Appreciate
in
it. Thank you.
the Brooklyn scene. I have a lot of questions, and I know a lot of people who may or may not know you, and they have a lot of questions about why I chose to interview you from my say crowd or people who might not know.
Mm.
But this is definitely somebody that if you're in the party scene right now, if you're going out, you want to know. You want to have this person's information number because you might be trying to get in the club. And this is definitely somebody you need to talk to. So, Sai, tell me, what is your story? How did you get into promotion? And how'd you get to where you are right now? I want to see where we're at.
Um, Damn, it's a long-winded story, maybe, kind of. But
Mhm.
I started promoting really like everybody starts like their house party shit. So I started doing
Yeah.
like house parties when I was in college. I went to Hampton. Um,
Okay.
so we did like house parties, which is cool. It was better than like going to the regular shit that was on campus, but it was like the same DJ playing the same music all the time. So I would like DJ
Okay.
from my laptop for the party and shit like that. And then I came home to New York, and most of like my friend group, we just went out to party. Like that's just what we did from like Thursday to Sunday, over and over again. Open bars, different clubs, different parties, whatever. Like we were just a party group.
Hmm.
Um,
What was the name of that group?
it was just a bunch of us for real. Just it wasn't really a
Okay.
group name. Um,
Okay.
so the first party group actually I started doing parties with was Team Nasty. So
Okay.
it was a couple of us.
Okay.
It was back then when everybody
What?
had
Give me some
teams.
backdrop. Give me some. What year was this?
Shit. I was damn. We was throwing like almost like teen parties. We was all like 19, 20.
Okay.
Um,
We're about the same age, I think, right? We're in the
yeah,
same age range.
yeah. So I
So
was
that might be like 2014, 15.
yeah. So I was like 19.
Okay.
Um, we was doing like these group parties. It was a bunch of us. I think that I wouldn't even say there was a main person for real. Maybe Chicken Man. Maybe he was like the main nigga. But a lot
Shouts
of
to Chicken Man.
yeah, shout out to Chicken Man. That's my nigga. But
Okay.
everybody that was a part of that team, um, we were all just friends. Like half of everybody went to Banneker. Um, the other part of us went to like Leon M. Goldstein. Some of us went to Murrow. So it was a lot of just like
Okay. Those
young
are those are
niggas.
Brooklyn schools?
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard of Monroe for sure because we I played them and they beat our ass in
yeah.
baseball back when I was in high school. These are your Brooklyn friends. Y'all started doing
Mm-hmm,
parties as a group, Team Nasty.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Shout out to
what
Team
kind of
Nasty.
events were you
Crazy.
doing? Yeah, shouts to
They
Team Nasty. Shouts to the
Well, back
Origins.
then it was mostly just Caribbean parties. So I'm Caribbean, so I'm
Okay.
Grenadian.
Okay.
And my
Facts.
other half of my family's from
Island of
Barbados.
Spice.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
so a lot of us are from like Bed-Stuy, Flatbush, Canarsie.
Mhm.
Um, so that's what kind of like a lot of the parties went down. A lot of parties went down like Flatbush. We did a lot of shit out there.
Mhm.
But I had like a way lesser role than anything. So I was kind of
Mhm.
just my friend group, and I kind of just jumped on the promotion. It wasn't even a real promotion for real. It was just like telling people we don't party, the word
Mhm.
spreads, and it would just happen like that. We did a bunch of house parties. We did like little clubs that would let us do shit like late at night for like underage people. I don't know how legal that shit was, but we had it. Um,
Probably wasn't, but
yeah, probably wasn't. But then I started kind of doing throwing parties with the Wave NYC. So that was
Okay.
me, my brother Derek, Michael, and Greg. So
Okay.
it started off like maybe like eight of us. And it kind of dwindled down to the four. But the Wave is I would say where like the party stuff really took off as far as like it being a thing, it being a brand, coming up with different brand names, coming up with themes.
Mhm.
Um, and really just like we felt like parties in the city specifically, not even the city, just in New York in general. But it didn't have that same energy we had everybody was going to the party and dancing, having fun and whining,
Hmm.
dance hall and soca, and
Yeah,
a little bit of hip hop. Um,
exactly.
but it kind of lost that. It kind of lost that essence. Like a lot of it turned into like raging and jumping around, and I think that was like I can't even remember the songs that were coming out around that time for real. Real early Travis Scott. Um, but like
Like rodeo.
yeah, like mosh pits was a thing. That was a thing
Okay.
with like black people, like
Yeah.
for a little
Oh,
minute.
I remember.
Yeah. So parties became like that. And I was around a lot of like the fashion kids, a lot of niggas that used to move around LES and Soho. So that was like
Hmm.
the vibe all the time.
Originally was like introverted, so those type of parties you're talking about is, and the wave was this like 2015, 2016, or how, when did the wave actually come
Yeah,
and started?
I wanna say 2016. I
16.
think so. Yeah, 20
Yeah.
yeah, around there. The
Okay.
dates are off in my mind because I don't even know like the year now is weird to me.
Okay.
Like the pandemic kind of
Because
fucked me up, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like my time is
So
off.
when you say because there was a point in time where we were trying to book Playboy Cardi,
Hmm.
and it was in that 2016 era of time where those were where the parties were kind of shifting to, and
Yeah.
especially it was in Brooklyn. Those events, you and that's how you got tuned in with, and it's not really, I wouldn't call it weird. I'll say artsy. There's different
This fashion niggas parties. That's what I call it. Just
fashion
fashion
niggas,
niggas
cool.
parties.
It's
Yeah,
cool. It's very
yeah,
cool. How are you getting to these people? These are people you already knew, or did you just go
yeah,
out and like, how'd you meet them?
yeah. It's people I already knew.
Okay.
Just everybody I knew was like into clothes. Like that was just the shit.
Okay.
Like the niggas just into clothes. Um,
Yeah.
just dressing. Just that was just
Yeah.
it. That was like the energy. And a lot of those people now they've gone on to be like designers. They gone on to do their own thing. They
Hmm.
still pop out shit like that, but um at that time that's what that's what the energy was, that's what the music was like, the hottest music at that time, or the underground rap or the underground hip-hop, like that was like the vibe. It was cool for a while, and then like me Derry would have a conversation all the time. That was like my mate partner in the wave. It was like, bro, this shit not fun. Like, we're not having no fun.
Hmm.
So we kind of just like, it's like, yo, let's throw a party that like we know how to throw parties. We know niggas. We can bring people together. Let's like
Hmm.
throw some shit that's fun, that we would
Hmm.
have fun at. Um, so that's kind of where it started. The first party we threw was Daywave. That
Okay.
was years ago. That was I want to say 8 years ago.
Okay.
Then through that we started collabing with different people. I met SB Sounds, Joe
Okay.
Grimes from Upper
Great
Echelon,
DJ.
yeah, DJ Train from Upper Echelon.
Hmm.
And then we all came to, it's like three different groups, but we all came together and we started doing Coach Clash.
Okay.
So Coach Clash was like our big Caribbean event. And that was like, we were like 21, 22, bringing out like 500, 600 people. So in my mind, that was crazy because we had just started doing parties like the year before. So we were
Hmm.
doing like these big backyard parties, but it was like a couple hundred, maybe like 200. Like shit we was real proud of. Um,
No facts.
And then like very soon after that, we linked up with Kyle Rhodes, and
Hmm.
we was like, yo, we want to do a picnic in the park. Well, we want to do a party in the park, like a picnic.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Greg, he came up with the name of Litnic. So that's how Litnic started. We like sat down at what's that? Damn, I don't know. You're not from Brooklyn. You probably not might not
I
know
may or
this.
may not know.
Not it's not crossing my mind right now. Um,
It's a venue.
Nah, it's like a bar. It's like an outside bar niggas used to go to all the time.
Oh, you're talking about Woodland?
Nah, it's close to there though,
It's
downtown.
outside though.
It's
You said
downtown.
outside.
It's downtown Brooklyn.
Probably
Um,
wouldn't know then.
yeah, I don't know, but somebody will hear this and don't know. But we were sitting outside. That's when we met Kyle for the first time. We had heard about him. He was doing like his own parties in his own world.
Yeah.
Um,
He was more in the fashion scene, right?
yeah, for
Always.
sure, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
So we were doing parties just like in different worlds though. Like our worlds never really connected like that, not until that point. Like our shit was more like hood Caribbean shit.
Hmm.
Um,
Facts.
and his was like more hood shit too, but it was a lot of fashion shit involved. More like a fashion people. So we decided to do the fast forward. We decided to do the picnic in the park. It's like maybe like 50 people the first year, which was
Mm.
cool because it was deep. It was deep in Prospect, like deep in Prospect
Okay.
Park. We've had I bought like a fucking rollaway. speaker, had that shit, set it up, had like a battery
Yeah.
connected to it. Niggas playing music off the laptop. So it was cool. Everybody vibing out. We decided to do it again the next year. And then like every year it just got more expensive. But the next year it was like 150 people. The year after that it was like 500. The year after that it was like 1,000. By the time it got to, it was the year before the pandemic, we were maybe around like 2,000 people, which is a lot of people just
Mm,
being apart.
yeah.
Um, so the pandemic happens, whole city shuts down. Right before the pandemic is when I started working with Shemansky. So that's
Okay.
kind of like where the promotion stuff started to take more of like a, face of who I was.
Yeah.
So I'll jump back to Shemansky after that. But Litnic, during the pandemic, the whole city shut down. We were like,
Mm.
yo, we're not gonna do it. We kind of like had conversations back and forth about doing it, not doing it. Like, it's irresponsible. And we kept, and like back then, well, during the pandemic, everybody was throwing these underground parties. There was like parties
Oh
happening
yeah.
in barbershops and niggas' cribs. There's party happening in clubs that was supposed to be shut down, but they opened at like
Facts.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that was a wild, wild west right
Yeah,
there for
it
real.
was crazy. So I didn't go out for a long time when the pandemic started because it was niggas was really dying. Like, it was really bad.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Me too. I was fake scared in the
yeah,
beginning.
people forget like how bad that shit really was. It was really like the end of the world type shit.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
Yeah,
What is the first year of Litnic? Just so I can reference.
I want to say 2016. I think.
Okay.
I think.
So then you did it a few for like now it's this tradition, and now the pandemic is coming, and you're debating whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah.
And tell me about that. What was that? What's the story on that?
So Litnick was. It started off as, I want to say, 5 of us. The way this 4 of us, Kyle, and then we started adding on different members at different times. We kind of separated and came back together with other people.
Mm.
Yins was the last kind of like member of that organization. Um, I think Yins came on like the 3rd year, but by like, so when the pandemic happened, we're all having these conversations about whether we want to do it or not.
Mm.
Some of us was like, yeah, let's do it. I was just like, yo, nah, it's it's crazy outside.
Mm.
Um, so then we see like consecutive parties happening in the park in Prospect Park. So we like, yo,
Yeah.
niggas gonna steal our sauce. Like, it's already being stolen. It's parties being called like freak niggas, parties being called Litnick happening in other parks. Um, so we're like, yo, um, eventually we're just like, let's just do it, fuck it.
Mhm.
So we throw it, and it's like the biggest one yet. So it's probably like, I want to say maybe like 3,500 people in the park. It's like a sea.
Yeah.
It's a sea of people. Um,
That's a big
in
takeover.
Prospect. Yeah, yeah. So but then like that's when it like went viral. So like that's when it
Mhm.
hit like Twitter real hard, hit
Yeah.
Instagram
She
real
was on the
hard.
news too.
Yeah, we want to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
that's what I say. Hey.
it wasn't a good news feature, but it's whatever.
Hey man, it wasn't. It could have been a lot worse. It was just talking
Yeah.
about
Oh
like
yeah.
trash
They
not
were
being
talking about
picked
trash.
up. Like
Yeah.
she was lit.
The thing is too, like, like, especially with Black Twitter, it's it's almost like in the DNA of Twitter to, like, if you see something, to talk shit about it.
Mm.
So there were people that had, like, I saw them having a time of their lives, but like they got on Twitter pretending like they didn't go. It was crazy. So yeah, that happens. There was like a weird backlash on Twitter from people that didn't go, saying like it was irresponsible, blah blah. Blah.
Mhm.
Probably was irresponsible. But I was at the same time. I think at that time all the cases were going down because it was hot outside. It was like summertime, so all the cases were
Mhm.
dropping off, and there was like obviously no spike after that. So thankfully nothing happened. Nobody had got hurt. Because that's always kind of like like, yeah, there was trash, but nothing happened to anybody. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people. Especially at that time, like Black Lives Matter was going on. There was a lot of
Oh yeah.
like an undercurrent of like violence that was happening, and not
Mhm.
even among like people, but just the police. It was a weird time. That whole time was real crazy.
Yeah, it was very hectic.
Yeah. Um. So that happens. It goes viral. There's positive feedback. There's negative feedback. Um. But all in all, it was an amazing time, an amazing event. Um. So next year when we come back, by now it's like it's a big thing. So 2021, we came back and did it, and then it was like 8,000 people, like balloon.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
then it went like viral. Then that's like TikTok is out by now, so it's like all over TikTok. It's like a thing. Like this is what New York looks like. You know that type of energy. And then like all the people that were talking shit the year before were like talking good about it now. So it was cool.
Yeah. Of
Um,
course.
but yeah, I remember the whole thing about the trash, but that happened specifically because people weren't working. So the park itself has like staff, and the park didn't have the staff to clean up the mess that usually gets left because there was always like mess afterwards, but it
Mhm.
was hard to like see how much mess it was because like we would help clean
It's
up,
being cleaned up.
right? We would help clean up, and then the park had their own association that came in and cleaned up the park like every day, especially after like a holiday weekend.
Of course.
So they just didn't have that, so it just looked crazy at like 6 in the morning. It was like the sun comes up and it's fucking bottles everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People wonder what the hell happened.
yeah, that's Litnic. That's like there's like different trajectories that my promotion like life went in. Um,
Mhm.
but I guess like what most people know me now is like being like one of the head promoters at Szymanski.
Okay.
So that started in 2019. I wanted to just I was looking for a place to throw a party. I hadn't done one in like a year. I was still working like my day job at the time. Um, and I went into there. I met actually shout out to Ola. Ola,
DJ Ola,
nah, not even
African
not
DJ.
even DJ Ola. My
Oh, Ola,
yeah,
somebody.
my boy Ola.
That's still an African name.
Oh yeah, I know.
Whoever that Ola is, I'm shouting you out. Go ahead.
My boy Ola, he introduces me to Israel. And Israel and Proper Etiquette were doing parties and bar shimmy, the smaller
Okay.
space inside of Szymanski.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do a party in the big room. Like I already knew like what the party was gonna be. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to find a venue. Like we done did like the DL a bunch of times, Paper Box, a bunch of places around the city, the Attic, when that was open. I don't even think that's still
Oh,
open.
Attic Rooftop. Remember
Yeah,
that spot?
yeah,
Loved
word.
it.
We did a lot of stuff like back in the day. Like we was like 24 or 25 around there.
Mhm.
Um, so getting to Szymanski, um, the owners like they don't want to just like give the big room to a brand new promoter because they don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Say I shit the bed, and everybody losing money. I'm like, all right, cool. So we do the smaller room, blow the fucking walls off.
Back out. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So like immediately after they called me in for a meeting, and I meet the owner, meet everybody that works there, and they're just like, a lot of promoters just talking shit. He's like, but you guys show improved. The guys had a lot of good things to say about you. And then they offered me to work with them on a weekly, like every week in Bar
Mhm.
Shimmy. And I was like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. Like,
Mhm.
I was used to throwing parties like once every 2 months, once every 2.5 months, maybe.
Okay.
Um, so I was like, I'm not about to be doing some shit every week. That's crazy. It's like,
Yeah.
who gonna want to come here every week? That don't make no sense. In my brain,
Yeah.
this is like, it's not
Yeah,
happening.
I know. I know that
Yeah,
transition from one-offs, popping one-offs, where you take the time, you got the time to promote it, the
yeah,
time to hit everybody up. You know when the birthdays you exactly. So
exactly.
definitely, it's definitely more of a burden. But yeah, but yeah. So what did you decide to do?
Yeah, so at first I was just like, nah, I'm not doing that. Um,
Okay.
and they were just like, yo, it's not really that crazy. Like it was like a small budget at the time that we had to put the party together, get different hosts, get different DJs. So so yeah, then I started throwing parties with Good Vibes Worldwide. So that was me, Israel, and Prop Etiquette.
Okay.
So that was like bar shimmy every Saturday, simply shimmy. People remember that. We were doing that every Saturday for like a year. So 2019, maybe like the top of that summer,
Okay.
and then the pandemic hit, and we were like ramping up real crazy. Like we were doing a small room, and then like I would bring in the wave guys, we would do the big room. I
Hmm.
bring in other people, we do the big room, then we do the whole club.
Hmm.
So we were just like ramping up real fast, and then the
Yeah.
pandemic hit, and shit just shut down. So at the time of the pandemic, funny shit, I had lost my job like a week before the pandemic happened. So I was getting unemployment, and then the shit hit, and I was really getting
Hey,
unemployment.
hey, me too. I remember I left. Listen, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, Delta, I ain't gonna hold you. This
Hey,
unemployment is kind of hurting.
hey, listen, bro. The unemployment was hitting. I wasn't doing nothing. I was sitting in the crib doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so we getting the extra unemployment. Then city starts to like slowly open back up.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like this grand opening or grand reopening. We come back, we get back to like the the weekly, the weekly schedule. So that's why I met Skrills. That's why I met Treese.
Okay.
Treese was like the head promoter at Shemansky for a while. So shout out to Treese too. Treese
Shout out to
does
Tree. Shout out to Skrills. Facts.
shout out to Treese,
Okay.
shout out to Skrills.
For some strange reason, I thought y'all knew each other before that. So this is
Nah,
when you met Treese and Skrills,
yeah, I
and he
met
was already the head promoter at
yeah,
Szymanski's.
Treese was already the head promoter at Shemansky. Yeah.
Okay.
He had like a whole different situation though. Like he was the head promoter, but he was also like part of like the actual Shemansky business. Like I'm not, it's
Okay.
he had his own situation going on.
Okay. That's what's up.
We were just promoters there.
Mhm.
So Skrills did Fridays, we did Saturdays, me and Israel did Saturdays, me, Israel, and Proper Etiquette did Saturdays. Um, and Shemansky used to be like more so like an EDM club,
Okay.
cause
Yeah.
right, cause the owner used to own Pacha. You ever heard of Pacha, the big ass like 5 floor club in the city?
Yes.
Right. So he
Yes.
used to own Pacha. Now he owns Shemansky. Um, so that was like a big EM club. So
Okay.
Shemansky used to be that a lot. Like we would have parties in a small room, and there'd be a whole like rave,
Mhm.
white people going crazy in the big room, like losing
Facts.
their mind.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
They,
So
they don't do that anymore out there like that, or
not really,
every now
no.
and then.
Yeah, not really, no.
Yeah,
Um,
because that's what I remember Shemansky's for. Like in
yeah.
terms of like whenever I didn't know it a lot, but I probably been there one time at before a long time ago,
Mm.
and I remember there was like one room where it was just like a rave,
Yeah, it was like a
and I'm
full,
like,
yeah, full blown
yeah,
dance EDM parties. Um,
okay,
So that was like that thing, and that was like the club's identity for a while. And then it started like the more popular we got, the club started shifting to like what we were throwing. So our events
facts,
just started getting bigger, and it was
yeah,
more, it was more, it was consecutive events that were just big.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. The consistency, they
right,
trusted you, and they got used to the crowd,
right.
and then yeah, okay,
So and then we have like a really good relationship with the ownership. So like our situation changed. Um, and then yeah, now it's just you
so
know,
your situation changes code for yesterday's price is not today's price, right?
right.
Okay, good. I'll make sure
Yeah,
because you're bringing all that marketing, you're bringing all that stuff to the,
yeah.
that the deal, the bar, the this, the that. It got
It's
to make
it's
sense.
it's a lot different from what it used to be.
Yeah, facts, and
Um,
that's good. All
yeah,
right.
100%. So yeah, man, shout out to Eddie Dean for sure. Crazy man, but owe him a lot
Yo,
for sure.
yeah. All owners are crazy, man. I mean,
Yeah,
owners and managers, man, they just got
yeah.
something about them.
No, yeah, he definitely taught me a lot. He saw a lot in
Potential.
me. Yeah, he saw a lot
Yeah,
in
he
me,
saw the
and
potential of what you could do.
yeah, he was constantly pushing me to just up it on time. It was just always up it. Um,
Okay.
so like the main team now is me, Israel, and Skrill. So Skrill still does Fridays. Me and Israel do Saturdays. Treese had left like last year. Um,
Okay.
and Treese, by the way, he does as general public. Him and Lenny, they do dope
Yes.
barbecue. Um,
Yes.
right.
For anybody who doesn't know, yes, I need to. I know things, but I want you to explain it for
Facts,
people who
facts,
don't
facts,
know.
facts.
Doe Barbecue, amazing.
Word
Shout out
facts.
Treese. Shout
Very
out Lenny.
very legendary party, legendary group.
Facts.
That's in Brooklyn too.
So now I see that. So you say Saturdays you have right now Shemansky's. Skrills has Fridays. I see that you guys are doing Freehold. Are you doing the
Mhm.
Freehold events too?
Yeah.
Freehold is a nice spot. Is what day do you do Freehold?
Sundays. So Frio,
Sundays.
yeah.
Okay.
So
And does
Sunday,
everybody come together for that one, or is that
yeah. So Sunday,
okay?
so Fridays girls, me Israel. Saturdays, Sunday me Israel and girls.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that's Sundaily.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool. That's a day party.
yeah. So we started that
Okay.
top of the summer. Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Bet
like
bet.
Mayish. it's kind of before the summer started.
Yeah,
Um,
Freehold's a nice spot.
and that
How'd you find out about that? How'd you find that spot?
um, I can't even really say, but it's almost impossible to book that place.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but lucky enough, we had like the connections that we had, and
Hmm.
yeah, so we started there in May. Had a grew like a really quick, really good relationship with everybody that works there. All the managers are cool. Luckily enough, like people just like us a lot. When we go places, we
Okay.
treat people well, we pay people on time. Um, so we have a really good. I'd like to think that we have a really good reputation as far as like the DJs tell me too. Like, we got gold stars on our names.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So
Yeah. This is like an ideal crowd. Like I don't see like fights and stuff happening at your shit. It
yeah,
look
nah,
like it's just good vibes and
yeah,
people. A lot of people from it looks like y'all have a good mixture of like Brooklyn people, but then y'all got some people like maybe come from other places.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mix. And it depends on what we're doing too. So the thing with running events at a club, is you can't do the same shit every week because nobody will come.
Hmm.
So
Gotta switch it up.
we have seven, we have 8 party series that we
Okay.
rotate every week. So we'll do a Mapiano Lights in a small room, and then we'll have like a big R&B party in a big room.
Fire.
Next week we'll have like a big Afrobeats party in the big room. Then we'll have like a only R&B and hip hop party in the side room, but it'll be different names, so the different brands that like we grew at different points. And some are bigger than the
Okay.
others. And when something gets bigger, we move it over. When something gets too big, we do it like once in a while. So that's kind of like how we figured out how to like keep the ball rolling and constantly do
Hmm.
stuff, constantly bringing new customers, new crowds, different people to experience the club, experience the vibe. Because every time is different. Um, like we do, it's basically one party a month, but we're
Okay.
doing 8 of them. Two
Okay.
and but two a Saturday. So it's
Yeah.
2 parties every Saturday, but once a month, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
When you do that, you feel I guess you definitely get to have a way better gauge of now you can play R&B a lot here, R&B a little bit here,
Right.
Afrobeat, so you get to sustain crowds in different markets, because
Right.
people might want to just go to the Afro beats, you know what I'm saying? That just
Exactly.
might be the one that they go to.
Yeah.
Okay, and then something, and you have people probably go to as much as they, whatever they can go to, but yeah. Do you still do like one-offs at all?
Yeah. So Day Wave is a one-off that I still do with the Wave guys. So
Okay.
we did a couple this past summer. We collabed with shout out Roland.
Okay.
Roland runs nothing but anthems. So we did a couple collabs with Roland for nothing but anthems. We called it nothing but Day Wave. We
Fire.
did
I saw
one,
that, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we did one at Slate, the Labor Day.
Okay.
The one before that was at the DL. No, not the DL. I'm
Okay.
sorry, not the DL. Harbor.
Okay. Harbor,
Yeah.
Harbor. Okay.
So we did that at Harbor. Um,
Is Harbor the new
used to be Hudson Terrace.
Hudson Terrace? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Harbor. Okay,
yeah,
I know. That's a good spot, big spot.
it is.
Slate got the slide, right?
Yeah, Slate got the slide.
Okay,
They
okay. I'm just making
got the
sure, yeah.
slide. You can go downstairs and then got all the fucking games downstairs.
Okay. So
Yeah,
for the bigger parties, you go out scout better different type venues for that type of experience.
yeah. It just depends. So I've been, I've been throwing parties for like 9 years now, legally.
Hmm.
Uh, so I've built up a lot of relationships with different venues, different managers, different owners. Um,
Hmm.
so luckily, I've been able to keep those relationships intact. And when I have like space to do something else, then we'll do something here and give the crowd something different, different energy.
Definitely.
Do something there, same thing. But like Shemansky is like the home base.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let me ask you a question. What are you excited about right now, like in the nightlife? Like, what excites you?
I'm excited to hear new DJs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been and like do like some new collaborations too. So I have like a couple of things lined up. Looking at some new DJs, seeing if like they can add something or I can help add something to their formula. Um, so that's kind of like been our thing for a while. So we have like we kind of like have like our main guys, or girls
Mhm.
as far as DJs and hosts.
Mhm.
But our intention always like we had a conversation with a group of DJs not too long ago. Um, our thing is always like watch what we do.
Mhm.
Like these are like this is like how this is, I'll tell them how I throw this party. Like this is exactly how we do it, like beat for beat. Uh, like watch what we do. And some of them have their own party series, so they understand how difficult the shit is. And they'll be like,
Okay.
"Damn, this shit is mad hard." I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Imagine doing this shit every week, like every 7 days. You're doing two at a time, sometimes three. When we're doing freehold, um,
Mhm.
it's kind of like, yo, when you get to that point, if you can build up, if we can help you in any way, like let us know, because the whole intention is for everybody to like keep taking a step up and leveling up, so that you
Mhm.
build your own party series. Now you got 400 people that want to just come see you. It's like
Exactly.
now we can collab and do something that's bigger and get 2,000, 1,500, 1,000 plus people.
Okay. So you're are you so you're telling me that and this is definitely, this sounds a little bit more like a constructive way to kind of work with people, because there was times when I used to work with people that was very much of a scarcity mentality.
Mm.
Nobody wanted to share anything that was being done, and it was tough. But
Yeah,
so
it's
when
definitely
you tell them
my
like
bad.
watch what we do, like you really show them what y'all do and let them kind of build their own crowd.
Nah, for sure. Especially if they want to, because it takes like it takes balls to do it. Like you can't just jump out the window and do it. I mean, you could,
Hmm.
but you're gonna fall. You just gotta be strong enough to get back up.
Facts.
But a lot of it, because this game, there's a lot of L's. Like I can't even explain the amount of L's I've taken. Like crazy
Facts.
L's. Like I mean,
Yeah.
you probably know too. Like fucking
Yep.
throw a party, you think you gonna make bread, lose 5,000. Like whoa,
Exactly.
shit
Yep.
hurt, and that's
Yeah.
coming out your pocket money. So it's business though. Like at the end of the day, like if you don't hit your number, you don't hit your number. That's kind
Facts.
of how I see it. But the intention is to for everybody around us to keep leveling up.
Hmm.
So like I've hired hosts who like started doing their own party series. Um, and it got to a point where it was like, yo, I'm a collab, let's do it. And do something cool, do something big. Put everybody's ideas together. So that's kind of just like that's kind of the intention.
That's how you kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So that shit, I like I said, once again, I applaud that type of activity, because a lot of people see people in the nightlife as greedy, or they don't want to put each other on and stuff like that.
Oh
But
yeah,
if
for
you're
sure.
willing to actually do the work, and you're willing to actually build, it's always better to go with a group versus doing it yourself. Like you're doing it yourself, but you're helping other people along the way, so that you have people on your left and the right that say, okay, yeah, this is a host that now has their own party series. Now they could jump on something. And y'all could, go here and do stuff there and
Right.
stuff. Yeah, for sure, man. Why do you choose that mentality to do things that way? Seeing what kind of, there's people who are greedy and they actually, it looks like they're doing better.
Mm.
So sometimes people might go that route because they think that's a survival tactic, but when in reality, there's other ways to go about it.
They might be doing better. I mean, who knows? They really
Who
might be
knows?
doing better. Um, the way the way I kind of see it is you won't I won't be like cool forever. Like
Okay.
I won't be like I my intention is to always like continue to elevate my own life, but I'm not gonna always be like that guy in that scene forever. So like the more I can bring people in to kind of like figure out what I'm doing, or to like show them how I do it, or to even if I'm like a little out of touch, to bring me back into touch, be like, yo, this is what's going on, this is what's hot, this is the
Mhm.
vibe that's going on right now. These are the other young niggas that's doing some shit. Um, that always helps. It's like
Mhm.
it's like what Drake does.
Yeah, and ironically, what you say, that is how you remain cool forever. Like, by
Yeah,
putting on the new kind of jumping on and helping the new generation, but learning from them, and or at least gives you more sustainability. I feel
yeah,
like what you're doing is
it's
way
about
more
being
sustainable.
it's about being sustainable. Because the thing is, you can't burn too many bridges so that you can't walk anywhere.
Mhm.
Like you just
Exactly.
yeah. So um, that's the thing. I just think I always do. I don't think I burned any bridges yet.
Great.
Especially yeah, especially not with like other promoters or venue owners or anything like that. So that's what I was saying. Like, my name is pretty good as far as people that know me and like what I do.
Okay.
Um,
So who are the new promoters that you see in the field like right now? I'm curious because I'm out a little out of touch from who's new. That's kind
uh,
of bubbling up.
there's a new. Damn, I guess new, right? How many years do you consider new? Because I'm like 10
I'm
years
thinking
in.
like
Okay.
pandemic and on.
Okay, bet. Shout out to Tochi. Tochi does South House and Niger House.
Okay.
So I think he started like the year before the pandemic. So I guess
Okay.
that's relatively new, like 4 years, something like that. But
Yeah.
his
No, that's
his shit is lit, very very lit.
okay.
Yeah. Um, New promoters. Shout out to Judge Jimmy. He throws
Just Jimmy.
yeah, he throws Trabowski. It's an Afrobeats event. He does that around Brooklyn and the city. Um, Pardon me if I'm missing anybody. I know Khalil has the Tings party. Um, HU and Wemmy are doing their mopping party. Damn, Heat.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, there's a couple people, man.
Are these all
Pardon me if I'm
Brooklyn
missing people.
parties?
Most of them are Brooklyn parties. Yeah.
Most of them Brooklyn parties? Okay, cool. So there is a bubbling. I just want to see just for the landscape. Like I love to see new people coming into it and like making it lit because
Hmm.
a lot of people don't think that, or they may have the idea that they don't want to go outside because things have decreased or there's not anybody doing anything that's like on the level that they would. So basically, for anybody who wants to go outside, just know there's new people, there's older
Hmm.
people who have been doing it. There's definitely more places. So do you think nightlife has kind of recovered all the way from the pandemic?
Um, no, I don't think it'll ever be the same either.
Okay,
Yeah, nah.
why not?
Um, there's it's just it's a lot less. I think there's a lot less money going around in general. Like people's income is not the same.
Okay,
Um, living
since
it,
the pandemic.
yeah, living expenses have shot up. People's priorities as far as like their expendable income changes,
Hmm.
and then of course people like grow out of shit. But then like you get that new
Hmm.
cycle of people that come in and want to kind of experience the energy and the vibe. But I don't think it'll ever be exactly the same. Like I don't think parties, before the pandemic were as crazy as parties in like the early 2000s, 90s type shit. Like you look back at those parties, like when fucking Diddy was a promoter, or like
Hmm.
shit like that, like crazy, crazy,
Yeah,
crazy shit. I don't think it will ever be like that. Like I don't even think like when I'm talking about Pacha, I don't think that a 5 floor club could even exist in New York anymore. Like how
yeah,
much would you even spend on the rent?
yeah. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the inflation and certain things have changed the industry, but I've seen like okay. So my thing is, we all seen the bottle wars thing,
Hmm.
people pouring out bottles and stuff. What do you think about that? That type of culture in terms of I don't really see that as like I feel like y'all have more of a y'all definitely I know y'all do bottles, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like y'all don't have a culture that's more. I feel like that was a little bit for me. It's stunting. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
get it. Where does that type of activity fall in terms of when you're doing your events?
Um, I mean, we definitely do bottle service. It's a big part of just like the revenue for the spaces we're in.
Hmm.
Because you want to maintain your relationship with the venue. So if you're just making all the money at the door, but the people don't spend money at the bar, there's no give and take with the place that
Yeah,
you book.
yeah,
Um, so you always want to make sure that um, you have clientele who have the money to spend.
yeah.
And that's not to speak ill of people who don't have it.
Hmm.
Because my parties range like the same party where somebody is spending $2,000, somebody can spend nothing, like
Hmm.
absolutely nothing, like $0 to
Have a
walk
great
in,
time.
have a good time. So
Well,
there's space for everybody to come into these parties. There's
okay,
like a free arts of people. We got happy hour, we got open bars, we got fucking
okay.
bottle
I
service.
like it.
So it just depends. And then every week is it's catered to a different kind of crowd. So one crowd may be more oriented to bottle service. Some crowd may just want to dance all night. Like that's just what the vibe is.
Okay. No,
But as far
facts.
as like the pouring out bottle shit, I don't know. I've never actually seen that. Like I've seen it on the internet. I've seen it like
Yeah.
it was like in I think it was in Atlanta, right?
I think that was in Houston. Yeah, it was
Okay,
Houston.
that's the
It
southern
was
that's a
crazy.
southern kind of like vibe though. Like
Yeah, it
every
has to be.
yeah, like you get bottles and you just got so much money you don't give a fuck, so you just pour it out. Like
It
the
was
club's
odd.
over. Yeah, I mean it's a
Yeah,
little odd. It's a little
okay.
odd.
The club's over. I've seen that. I've seen the clubs over. It's like
Yeah,
a strip club. They'll do that.
I think it
But
was over though. That viral clip. I think the party was done.
yeah, the lights were on.
Yeah,
The lights were on. They didn't want to drink the rest of their liquor. Maybe they're being responsible. Who knows? Maybe we
yeah.
played it wrong. Maybe
Eh.
they was just pouring it out just to,
Maybe they got
but
some bad
yeah, because
homies, bro. You never know.
exactly. So
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah. And I'm looking at the cost of me. I'm like, man, the Southern bottle prices are definitely not the same as New York bottle prices.
Nah, ain't nothing like New York bottle prices, bro.
No, yeah. So
Nothing
I'm
like New
like,
York bottle
maybe,
prices.
but it was New York versus Baltimore. Who knows? So what do you wish like more people understood about the party world?
The party world itself, like,
Yeah, just nightlife, or just you're obviously the you're the ringleader. You're bringing everybody and you're giving them these experiences. Maybe they need to know something that'll make them appreciate it a little bit more, because it is
mm,
a lot of work.
nah, it is a lot of work. Like I recently like got real bad burnout. Um, like, and I felt it coming on for a while, but then it kind of hit me like real hard. And I could tell it was happening because the way I was reacting to like small things, I was like exploding on shit that didn't make no sense to explode on. But anybody can get burned out for real, just like overworking yourself
Of
and
course,
overexerting your
most people get
energy.
it
Yeah,
from not doing parties
yeah, exactly.
or not going out.
Um, so I mean, this has been like I would say like the most rewarding career I've had, but it's also
Mhm.
like the most strenuous. And I know people don't wouldn't see it that way either, because their perception is just like
Yeah, they're like, oh, he lit, he having fun.
yeah, their perception is not that it's like a business. It's just that it's I'm coming to have a good time. But like
Mhm.
everything we do, well, especially like with Shemansky, so the amount of like revenue for the parties that come in, because it's a business, so the amount of revenue that comes in for the business, a
Mhm.
lot of that is on us. So
Yeah.
the money that comes in, pays the bartenders, pays the staff, pays the cashiers, pays the security, pays the door people, pays the bar backs. So that's like our responsibility.
Mhm.
Um, and we take like I for sure take that serious. Me and Israel for sure, like we take that very serious. Like
Facts.
I've had all those jobs. Like I've been a cashier, I've been a bar back, I've been a waiter, I've been a bartender. So like I understand how like difficult that shit is. So I would never like a lot of people just don't have like compassion for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of
I
empathy for just like those jobs and like what those people do, whether they work under me or not. Um, I just understand how difficult it is. So
mhm.
with that, it's just you were saying like, what would I tell people that would make them
I
understand?
mean, that in itself, that like, yeah, like what would you, and you kind of almost, you really encompass it. So I think that a lot of people don't understand that this, honestly, and just like you said, you've been doing parties legally for 9 years. This is a legal, upstanding entrepreneurship type situation that is going on right under people's noses, and they kind of see it as like, oh, you just inviting a lot of people, or you
Yeah.
just know a lot of people. There is net profit, there's gross margins you have to
Hmm.
make, there's revenue that splits here and there, there's people. You're literally creating jobs for others
Right.
to, yeah, to even have. So I'm on the same, you kind of answered the question while we're kind of having a conversation about it.
Hmm.
But yeah, just in the simple fact that people need to people love to support other businesses, that have their margins. They'll pay $1,000 for a Louis. They'll do this for this and that. And I definitely think that, seeing the community and the consistency that you create, if people look at that and see behind a little bit and say, hey, listen, this is an entrepreneurial individual who is legally doing this and making kind of giving a place for people to have a community, like it's something to be respected.
Nah, for sure. Um, and shout out to Israel too, because he's like my partner in everything for Saturdays. So we deal with a lot. So I know like the parties happen on Saturdays, right? Or the parties happen on Sundays. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a revolving thing. So it's every Saturday, every Sunday. So we're not just working on Saturday or like
Yeah.
working on Saturday. I wake up Saturday and I'm working on 2 weeks from now. I'm working
Hmm.
on 3 weeks from now, working on 2 months from now. So every day, like, we're working. So well, I can speak specifically for myself, but like today I'm working on the events for 3 weeks from now, but I'm simultaneously promoting this week. So I'm
Hmm.
promoting this week like on social media, but
Hmm.
all day I'm like on my computer making flyers, building on
Oh,
expense.
where you making flyers too?
Yeah,
Oh, you like host flyers?
all of them. Well, not I don't do
All
I
of
don't
them.
do all the flyers, but there are flyers that I make for specific events, and then I do host flyers on
Okay.
top of that. So
Okay, yeah, that's fire.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
see,
like
people don't know.
yeah, so it's like a couple hours out the day making flyers,
Yeah,
but then it's
or Photoshop.
right. So then book on Photoshop. So then booking the talent. So I'm booking talent for um like the next 3 weeks. Talking
Hmm.
to agents about if you want to get an artist here or there.
Hmm.
Having phone conversations with other promoters if they want to do something here, do a collab on this date. Um, but all day, every day, I'm working on something. So like from the
Yeah,
moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, I'm working on. So
facts.
I know I have like little pivots in the day. Stop, go do something, eat, go here, go to the
Hmm.
gym. But for the most part, like most of my day is just like the hustle of working.
Now,
Making
facts.
sure I got enough time to promote this event. Creating a theme for this, making sure I have this DJ, and then at the same time simultaneously promoting this event, talking to the DJs, creating requirements that we need, breaking down the budget, making sure our staff is prepared, um, and then it's the day of work. So walking in, making sure our table is situated, making sure the hostess knows what she has, making sure our guests are situated, making sure cashier is set up. We got the lights going on, the sound is good, bartenders are set
Hmm.
up. We have like our staff meeting, and then the show's on the road. But as soon as it's done, wake up,
Start
right
all
back
over
to it.
again, pack it up, go all over again. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nonstop. Um, and that is probably the thing that people don't get, and you don't always like win.
Hmm.
So like, especially if you're doing something weekly, right? So
Hmm.
say you do something, every couple months, you might get like a big, as far as like your revenue or your profit, you might get a big piece of change, and
Hmm.
then you got time to like prepare for the next thing.
Yeah.
So with us, we do every single week. Sometimes we win big, sometimes we win little, sometimes we lose, sometimes we break even. It's just part of like, you know,
Yeah.
the game. But I know
Thanks.
a lot of people are like, these niggas make crazy amounts of money every week. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You'll never know
Hmm.
what it is, but sometimes I take L's, bro. It's part of the
Facts.
game. But every
Either
single time I
way,
do, I figure out like, oh, I know exactly why I lost. I know like specifically why. I knew it before it happened, and
yeah.
then I fix it.
Every L is a lesson, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's like these things that we're talking about, these are core entrepreneurship like principles that people don't realize how much doing events in the nightlife and then that specific
It's a
role
lot
of
of work, bro.
curating, marketing, you know what I'm
And
saying,
and
sales, you got to
sales,
deliver value.
handling people's egos.
Yeah.
It's
Politics.
it's a lot. It's a lot, bro. I will, and I don't even. I used to
You be
complain.
doing other shit too. I be seeing you be modeling or something.
Yeah, I used to do a lot more before I was fully like
Okay.
doing event curation. That's why I like to call it
Okay.
event curation. Promoting is part of the job. Like I'm a
Hmm.
promoter, but I'm also an event curator. Like that's
Yeah.
like the actual
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Like I'm
It's the whole, yeah.
right. So I'm hiring all the staff. I'm creating a theme, creating the party, creating what I want for the flyer. Or if I'm not making the flyer myself, figuring out exactly what I want the flyer to look like, and I'm giving it to somebody I trust to make it. So the theme, the curation, the flyer, the staff, the host, the DJs,
Okay.
the budget, and that's
Yeah.
every day, all day.
Well, I would say this: all that stress that it does come with, Now you ain't gonna sit up here and act like you don't have a whole lot of fun, and I know you
No,
know a whole
it's
lot of
bro,
got
it's
a
a
nice
lot of
little, you
fun.
know.
It's a lot of fun. It's mad fun, and
It's a trade off. Exactly as much work as it is, you're gonna have as much fun, right?
that's a thing too.
Yeah.
Like I can't. There are a lot of like dark spots in nightlife. Like it's
Okay.
a lot of like negative shit that like will happen around. It's a lot of as you become like more popular or more there's more eyes on you. Like
Mhm.
people stop viewing you as a person. So
Okay.
you're not like I kind of consider it how an album drops, right?
Okay.
People go on Twitter, whatever, however they feel about the album. Say they don't like it the first time they hear it, they talk shit about it. They're not really nobody's thinking on the opposite end is somebody that took 2 years out their life to make this album. Like
Yeah.
they poured all their energy into making this
Yeah.
shit, and you spent like 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, jumped
Yeah.
online and was like, "This is bullshit. I hate this. It's trash.
Yeah. Victim to the critics. The critics
This
out
nigga
here.
need to stop doing this shit." So
Yeah.
that's what happens when you get like desensitized from the thing that you're like taking in. So
Mhm.
when you see that there's so much separation from you and this thing that you're partaking in, that you lose the compassion of understanding what it takes to do this thing.
Yeah.
So, and I've ran into that with other promoters, like promoters like that that just started like not too long ago. It's something that happened a couple months ago with a girl who used to like ask us to host. Like she does her own events now. I think they're doing pretty well, but she used to ask us to host a lot, and just because of like
Okay.
how our situation was set up back then, like it didn't make sense to do it.
Mhm.
Like it wasn't a personal thing. But she used to come to the events. But she made like a TikTok saying like stop going to these
Oh
places and
wow.
these parties. And I
Really?
was just like, and then she like followed it up with like saying like come to my party, come to my friend's party, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's hey, we don't do that type of vibe energy. You
Yeah,
don't need to knock another man,
and
especially somebody who hosted for you.
right, no, she never did. She never did, but she wanted to. We just
Oh,
couldn't let it happen.
uh,
It just didn't add up. Like it just didn't make sense at the
yeah.
time. It wasn't anything specific about her. It just wasn't making sense.
Mhm.
Budget wise, she made the video. Like I responded to it, and I think because I responded to it, it started getting a lot of attention. Um,
Yeah.
which is probably my mistake. But that was like in my burnout period where like I was reacting to everything. Like
Had to
anything,
black.
yeah, I had to. It had
Yeah.
somebody was gonna get
Yeah.
it. So
Nah, yeah. You can't play with people in that time period, man. I know how it feels.
nah, but it was unfortunate because it was just something that I would never do. Like I would,
Mhm.
especially like because I know how difficult this shit is. Like I know how difficult it is to like pull something off and see it really pulled off. Like you didn't put all your ideas into this one thing and it turns out well. Um,
Thanks.
so I know how difficult it is, especially like, you know, on those days where like it's a great party, but maybe you don't make as much as you wanted to make. Maybe you paid out a little bit too much, but you're just happy with the product.
Yeah.
Um, and I would never like jump out and be like you just know, it's like imagine like me getting online and be like, yo, man, I know y'all want to have a good time, but stop going to Dope Barbecue, stop going
Yeah.
to South, stop going to these places. And then I make another video
Yeah.
like, come to Shemansky. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, like, we would never do some shit like that.
Yeah. That would make
And
no sense.
yeah,
It'd be
it's
crazy
weird.
if I just cut that shit. Just nah, I'm fucking with you.
Yo, imagine.
Uh, nah, I'm fucking with you. But yeah, but I feel you. Like that shit. That's not the type of energy that. Listen,
Nah,
I
no,
understand it because what I've. These are lessons that. These are lessons that apply across the board.
for
If you
sure.
hate on any person, if you're a successful person, you already know not to hate on people because the energy that it brings back, you don't even need to think like that person, whatever they did, and so, you know, they'll learn in the future. I let God give the karma to people who do things that, you know, don't really make sense. But yeah, in the beginning, I used to go off on people too. Trust me, I was one of the worst. I was very vindictive about certain things. I was very everything that was involved in NWP. I was extremely personal
Mm.
about anybody. Niggas was talk shit about Skrills. I was getting in trouble. because niggas was talking shit about people that are in the group
Mm.
because I was just like, nah. So but after a while you learn, you learn that, you just gotta
Nah, yeah, you
let some
learn
of these things go.
you can't even you learn like you can't even really react to anything because
Yeah,
it comes with the territory. Um,
yeah,
and no matter what field you're in, if you're successful, there's gonna be somebody
facts.
that views your success as some sort of threat to them, even if it's not an
Mhm.
actual threat, or like a perceived like um what you have, I want a piece of it rather than
Yeah,
like this is for everybody. But then again,
yeah,
like it's also like I had to change my perspective that people don't see me as a person. They see me as like Cyrese, the promoter, or like the
yeah,
promoter at Shemansky, or the party promoter,
yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, you're a figure. You're a public figure, and
Right. So it's
that
different.
you've learned how to,
And it is a pivot you have.
navigate.
Yeah, it's a pivot you have to make that I probably made like mentally pretty recently. But there's
So
definitely.
your mental health is good right now.
Oh yeah,
You're feeling good.
yeah.
Things you're excited for the future. New DJs, new things to come.
Mm.
Have you guys ever done anything in like in Miami, Florida at all, or any other states?
No, I haven't done anything in Miami. We did a Litnic in Atlanta
Okay,
last year.
how was
Was
that?
that last year? Yeah, last year. It was good.
Okay,
It
cool.
was our first one there and it was better than our first two in New York. So
Okay,
that's how I
yeah, no,
gauged it.
that's no,
Um
that's fire.
yeah,
It's just progression. Look at
yeah,
that.
for sure. So it's just it's yeah, mental health is a good it's important, especially I mean in any
Yeah,
business, but especially with nightlife. It's a lot of villains, I would say, in nightlife for
really?
sure. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of people who like, especially because like the good thing is like I've been good to a lot of people. So
Mhm.
when things are said, it comes back to me pretty fast. So
Okay.
like I'll hear something, I'm like, that's strange. I've been putting money in this person's pocket for years, but it would never be like a way that they acted towards me or anything I did specifically towards them. It would just be,
Mhm.
like an undercurrent of how they felt
Yeah, there's emotions, especially anything dealing
for
with
sure.
money and
Hmm.
entrepreneurship, losses. It's a very big personal development game. Your personal development, you're your own competition if you look at it that way, and you just get
Hmm.
better than yourself. But there's others who out there who, even if the truth is they're their own competition, they'll look at you and they'll be like, "Damn, like, why I can't do this." And the animosity and the ego, yeah, I can see how there can be villains for sure. I'm just
Oh
saying,
yeah,
like, even now, 2023, people need a place to go out and find a vibe and stuff. So I don't know. I just feel like right now, how the market is and just the mental health of individuals, you guys are doing a great service to the people who compete or the people who have the issues with. Yeah, those are, I can see those people as the villains for sure. Like
yeah,
how they might act or treat you and stuff.
yeah. Because I mean, even here, right? Like
Mhm.
you could probably see like Treese or other promoters as like competition, but I don't see it as competition. Like those are people who
Mhm.
like I admire what they do. So
Mhm.
if anything, I see it as like inspiration. Like if I see
Yeah,
something that somebody has that I want, I don't go like, damn, I wish that nigga didn't have it so I could have it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
that thing exists. I could get that too. Let me
yeah.
figure out how to get
Yeah,
it like
that's
my way.
abundance mentality. So
Yeah.
that's all that is. Yeah, definitely. I wanted to know who are your top five legends of the nightlife, if you had to name five, and
Uh,
you can't name anybody you currently work with
damn,
or doing
that's
events
exactly
on.
what I was gonna do.
I know, see, but we already know them, so they're already on our list over here. But we want to know who your top five legends that you see that are not,
Top five
currently
legends of
making money
nightlife
with.
right now. Shit, like currently.
Yeah, or just legends in general. Like for me, I love AG, Alex Gidwan,
Hmm.
from the owner of like Compound and all the different clubs in Atlanta. I've just seen what he's done out there. There's different people for different, but yeah, like your top five people that you would say, kind of like either, think are just legends in general.
Damn, that's hard. Damn, it can't be nobody. I made money with a lot of people, man. That's the thing. Everybody I kind of like admired. I was like, yo, let's
No,
do
okay,
something.
no, I would say I'm currently making
Currently.
money with
Oh,
because we
like
already
right, like
know
oh, got you,
Skrill's,
got you.
yeah,
And big shout out to
it could be
Skrill's
people you
too.
made money with.
Big shout
Yeah,
out to
for
Skrill's.
sure.
Big shout out to Israel. Um,
Hmm.
okay, so people I'm not making money with right now. So there's Mike Nasty. There's
Okay, like Nasty.
DJ MoMA. He,
MoMA.
yeah, that's Everyday People.
Okay. Yeah, everyday people super late.
Tochi, that's South House. Bum, 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 bum.
Street Me Tumo.
Kyle Rhodes for sure.
Kyle Reigns. Okay.
Um, Beautiful Faces.
Beautiful Faces is they're all, is it a group?
Yeah, yeah, it's three of them. Um,
Okay.
and who's doing something really cool? Peter J, my boy, my
Peter
guy.
J.
Yeah, P96 experiences for sure. Shout out to Peter J.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to Peter J.
I think
Definitely,
Peter
man.
J's from
Like
Queens. I think.
I've seen some stuff from him,
Mhm.
like flyer wise or event wise.
Yeah.
I try to kind of look at the landscape right now, and there's a Queens landscape that kind of do like the weeklies and the stuff that I'm already kind of familiar with,
Mhm.
and then there's a Brooklyn landscape where I what I do admire about the culture of the events in the Brooklyn space is like you said, you got your everyday people, you got your there's all these different DJs as well. I love the DJs in that specific, like y'all are very like the creativity of those DJs. Like I said, SB
Mhm.
Sounds. I be seeing like more Soup Please.
Yeah,
I
Soup.
think he does like the R and
Soup
B.
is doing a
Yeah,
lot of,
yeah,
lot of, lot of cool shit. Yeah, shout out to boy
yeah.
Soup.
And y'all got y'all culturally like in terms of what's like cool and the stuff that what I like is more my vibe. If I were to
Yeah.
go to parties now,
Hmm.
Queens is what I grew up on, and we all love a nice wine and stuff. We all Caribbean, so you know what I'm saying. That's already gonna happen.
Yeah.
But just in terms of like the culture, the fashion, the hip hop, the fabric of it, if I were to go to an event, I would definitely do something in Brooklyn in terms of like have fun out there.
Yeah, because a lot of
Um,
people are doing like a lot of different shit. So it's a lot of cool shit going on. So Soup does like what we do. So there's like a couple people that really do like exactly, well, not exactly, but kind of like me and Israel Scroll Soup. So like on a
same
week,
same vein, I guess.
right? So like on a weekly basis, like a
Mm.
revolving door of different event series. Soup does that. Mike Nasty does that. If I'm leaving anybody out, I apologize. I know those are like the only two other guys for
Mm.
real. I think. Let me not say that's a fact, but yeah, as far as like I
But
can
those
think right
are
now.
Yeah, those are people that, like, for me, I'm gonna do some more research on them and just be
Hmm.
able, I want to support everybody who are, know people I know and whatnot. Your influence is very known in the world right now, or in the party world, especially in that scene. Definitely glad you kind of gave me some info on like the Litnic stuff. I knew a small amount
Hmm.
about Litnic. I did not know that you got Greg. It was Greg that came up with a name.
Yeah, my boy Greg.
Yeah. Okay. For some strange reason, I thought that was like a Kyle Rhodes event, but I
Yeah,
realized that
it's all of
y'all
us.
came together, right?
Yeah. So Kyle came to us. It was his idea initially. Like so he came to us. It was like he wanted to do a party in the park, like a picnic type of
Yeah.
vibe, and he wanted to collab with us. Um,
Okay. So he kind of helped Greg helped with the market, just of the name and stuff.
right. So Greg,
So
yeah. So Greg came up with the name, but it was Kyle's brain baby.
when's the next Litnic?
I
Next summer?
I can't
In
say
Prospect Park?
we're still in like conversation with the city about how big we can actually make it.
Oh,
Yeah,
permitting and whatnot, right?
because it was so big last time that they had told us basically like they wanted to work with
Apologize.
us. Yeah, yeah. They told us basically they wanted to work with us. Um, but the size that it was, we would have to change like the entire logistics of how we did it.
Yeah.
So that's still like something we're working on.
Okay. No, I'm gonna be looking out. Hey man, listen, please drop your IG, TikTok, anything that you have, so they can follow
Oh,
you.
for sure. I Instagram, IG is Wavy Baby Reese, WAVY, Baby BABY Reese RESE. That's on everything. So
Okay, that's on everything.
X,
You be on
Twitter,
TikTok?
TikTok, a little bit, not really. I be
Okay.
laughing on TikTok. I be scrolling on TikTok
Yeah.
for a good look hour and a half out of my
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah. Nah, facts. Listen, man. I watch a lot of cat videos. I'm a little trolling. But yeah. So pretty much, okay. So yeah, man. Y'all need to tune in, tap in with the legendary Cyrese, event curator. Man, he's really holding it down in Brooklyn with Israel Skrells. That whole. If you know any of them, you'll have a good time in Brooklyn for sure. I don't doubt it. Just quick question. You guys don't have anything on like Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, right?
No, right now we do not have anything Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
So we have
So
Freehold coming up this Sunday.
mhm.
That's for Nigerian Independence Day, and then we
Mhm.
have obviously we have Shemansky. We're doing a collaboration with Sydney Love. Shout out to Sydney Love too. She's doing a lot of cool shit too. For
Okay, shout out to you, love.
her Nair party series. She has a couple of party series out of that. Um,
Okay,
so yeah, it's a lot of DJs doing a
yeah.
lot of cool shit. So shout out to the DJs.
Yeah, shout out to the DJ. Shout out to, like I said, Size doing his thing. You can catch him on a Saturday. You can catch him on a Sunday. Shit, you might even see him out of the Friday, hanging out with Skrills on a Friday.
Hmm.
Shemansky's and Freehold those are like the two upcoming spots. A lot of people say there's not many spots in Brooklyn right now. So like for those spots to
I
be,
feel like everything's in Brooklyn for real.
yeah, and it's so crazy. Queens people say the same. Queens people think everything's in Queens. So I don't know.
It's Queens is big. Like I just moved to Queens. I'm in Queens right now, but
Okay,
it's a
okay,
lot. It's a lot going on out here.
okay.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. You're not going. You be going to parties out there. You be sneaking in the shit and just being on some like.
I've been to a couple. I've been to a couple like little bars here and there, but nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever go to like a party where no one knows you just to kind of have fun, just to kind of like
I wish.
be in that spot?
I
You can't
wish.
even do that.
I wish.
Yeah, it's a dub. They gonna know you.
Nah.
All right.
Some way somehow.
Nah, facts. Well, listen, man, you're putting a lot of work. You're doing what a lot of people don't understand is, high level entrepreneurship. You're juggling tasks, you're creating jobs, and you're keeping the vibes for those. Listen, there's people out there with mental health, they haven't done a thing in a while, they haven't been out in a while. If you have that type of situation, go out, hang out, and have a
For
drink. You
sure.
don't gotta spend $2,000. Definitely check out Cy and what he got going on over there. Follow him on all his IG socials. He is a true legend, man, and I definitely thank you for taking the time out to have this conversation with me, brother.
David, man, thank you. Appreciate you.